The Spillane family have been at the heart of Spillanes since Tom Bawn opened the doors in 1875, but we could never have achieved all that we have by ourselves. Spillanes has become an institution that has survived and thrived thanks to the people who have supported us over the years. A sprawling family that stretches far beyond a surname or a bloodline. Our staff are part of our family. We have been so lucky to have the support of many incredible staff over the years. This map is just a taster of the local Mahari people who have helped make Spillanes what it is. And that's not to forget all those who come from further afield. As you can see from the selection of rosters over the years, we are where we are thanks to the hard work of more people than we can mention in a short video. So many of our staff are from the local community, or the children of former staff, or of customers who have been coming for generations. These photos share a brief glimpse of some of our wonderful staff and the fun times we have shared together over the years. Feel free to pause and zoom in. And if you ever fancy joining in the fun, why not ask Rose about becoming part of the team? We are always happy to welcome new people to help us provide the best service that we can to our wonderful customers who have supported us through thick and thin, through recessions, pandemics, and hard times. And we are so grateful that they keep coming back to celebrate the good times with us. These are the customer photo montages we had on display for the 150th birthday celebrations recently. We are incredibly grateful to all those who were able to come out and celebrate with us on a wild, wet weekend in September. And for those who couldn't make it, we look forward to celebrating with you next time you come for a visit. It was a great opportunity to celebrate the history of Spillanes, our wonderful staff, and those who have gone before but live on in our memories and stories.
The counter was lined with men, fishermen, older men who had nothing much to do, only socialise in the bar all day long.
During our time growing up, there was a lot of characters around. There was obviously no mobile phones, no television, so the characters in the pub, they were very witty. The fun that there used to be, because everybody had either their song or very quick-witted. There was a sign went up outside the pub. My dad put it up, and it came from Guinness, and the sign said, "Guinness is good for you." And one day anyway, Jack Green from Gary Willem, who Jack now was, anybody who knew him, he was very careful and very measured, but he was drawing seaweed, and Stephen Courtney, who was also drawing seaweed, and they were passing the sign, and Stephen said to Jack, "Jack, what do you think of the sign?" And says Jack, he looked at it, "Guinness is good for you," says he. "Christ, and they don't drink much of it themselves." The Smith, Michael O'Connor, he'd be into the bar regularly in the evening after his day's work. And I can still remember one evening, a man from Kilshannig, and Kilshannig was full of rogues. Sean Brown said to the Smith, "Smith, yesterday evening you were going home, you fell, and I thought you were dying, and I said an act of contrition into your ear." And the Smith listened to him for a minute, and he put his hand in his pocket and he took out £1, and he says, "Put it up on the counter," and he says, "If you can repeat it now, there's £1 for you." And £1 that time would probably buy about 10 pints. But sure, Sean couldn't repeat it, so Sean was only making it up.
Another time was playing the music with Crow Grady, Billy and myself. I used to play the bodhrán, and we had some great times, and the place was full of people, and some Americans came in and sat round close to us, and every time they asked for a song, they put a $20 bill on the bar, on the table, and we gave it to a young lad who was learning his music, so he got quite a handful of money that night, and we had a great time. Yeah, some lovely memories there.
Sam Brown was another great character, and Sam would come in the evening and he'd order half a whiskey, and then he'd have another one, and then he'd have a couple of mediums, and some evening somebody said to Sam, a stranger, maybe a tourist, "Sam, what do you think of the Guinness?" And Sam said, "'Tis only fit for washing donkeys' hooves," Sam says to the tourist. So they were very quick-witted. Another day, John Harrington used to set a net off the strand. You can't do it now. But he got a load of mullet in the net. And this is back now 50, 60 years ago. And needless to say, word got around that John Harrington had a load of mullet. And Mike Enright, who was from County here, Mike came into the bar, and my grandmother Minnie was here, and she served him, and she said to Mike, "Mike, did you hear Harrington had a load of fish in the net?" And says Mike to her, "What were they, Minnie?" "Mullet," she says. "Ah, Christ, Minnie," says he, "mullet, they're half blind this time of the year." So he was giving no credit to John Harrington at all for the fish.
Farmore back in the day was a huge issue. It created a big void in our life. Thanks be to God, Monty found his way back.
Being a bit smart aleck myself at times, this woman, a tourist, one evening I remember she asked me where we were selling bread, milk, rashes, sausages, everything. It was, as I said, a shop and a pub. And she said to me, "Is the bread fresh?" And I said, "It is. We get it in at the start of the year." Other great characters, Jimmy Spillane from Gary William, a cousin of ours. Jimmy'd come into the bar on a summer's evening and there'd be a few tourists around, and Jimmy'd sing a song and he'd sing another song. Glory, oh, to the bold fiend men was one of Jimmy's songs. Tommy Fitz and Pat Courtney would come in on a Sunday night, and if a school report had come out, Pat Courtney had come up to my mother, and I used to hate to see this happening, but it used to happen. Pat would say, "How did Sean do in his history?" or something like that, knowing full well, because John was in the same class as me, that John did probably better than me. Mickey and Daw and Teddy, all great characters. And Teddy's dad, Tig Lynch, he was the first cousin of Minnie, my grandmother. He'd come in and Minnie would tell him go home after 2 drinks, and it was out of kindness. Ty Gunn from Kilshannig, and his name was Timothy O'Connor, but tourists would know him and call him maybe Mr. Gunn. He'd go cracked if he was called Mr. Gunn, but they didn't know any different. John Yamney, John Ash, another great character. Tommy Joe Goodwin was another rogue, another Kilshannig man. Eileen McCarthy's dad, Eileen is still around, I think. And he was full of devilment, full of mischief. There was just great characters.
And so we leave you with an extended slideshow of the people of Spillanes, old and new. Feel free to slow down, pause, or speed up as you will. Our thanks to those of you who have been a part of our journey so far, and to those of you we have yet to meet, please come and join us for the next part of the adventure.